Dun 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 dun. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. Happy Halloween, everybody. It's that time of year. Everything becomes spooky. We gotta celebrate with something spooky, right? What do we gotta do this year? We got ghosts, zombies, vampires. What do we do? Well, it's none of those things. This year, this theme is gonna be killer robots dressed up as furries. I cannot believe I said that. This needs no introduction. I think everybody knows what Five Nights at Freddy's is. In fact, everyone and their mom knows what Five Nights at Freddy's is. Ever since August of 2014, Five Nights at Freddy's became an iconic indie horror title that changed the internet. It's everywhere. Games, books, toys, t-shirts, you name it. No matter how much Five Nights at Freddy's content we had, we just wanted more. More Five Nights at Freddy's, more FNAF, more Five Nights! What's so special about Five Nights at Freddy's anyway? Well, I think I know why. Have you ever been to a Chuck E. Cheese and seen those creepy robots dancing on stage? A lot of people are scared of those things. Now imagine those things come into life to try to kill you. The developer Scott Cawthon used this to his advantage to make an entire horror game about it. Scary animatronics moving around on their own and always watching you. Nobody ever tried this before. It was brand new and we never knew that we needed this until we got it. Since then, it's been spreading like wildfire to the point that there's even a movie about it right now in theaters as we speak. I reviewed that recently, you can check that out. Since it's the release of the new movie, I thought it was a great time to take a look back at the older Five Nights at Freddy's games. Well, I have the core collection. The core collection pretty much contains Five Nights at Freddy's 1 through 5. So, we're gonna review 5 games in one video. Lucky you. Let's start where it all began. Five Nights at Freddy's. We all have to agree that this game is an absolute masterpiece. It's a simple concept. You are a night guard at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and your job is to monitor security cameras, I guess. There's a guy on the phone who tells you everything about the job. Basically, on this job, you have nothing to be scared about, except for the animatronic robots trying to kill you by forcefully stuffing you into a suit. At that point, why would you be more concerned about doing your job rather than staying alive? Why does this place need security anyway, if the animatronics are always this hostile? Who'd want to break into a place like this with killer robots? I'd go over the entire backstory of Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's so confusing and convoluted, more than Star Wars and Harry Potter combined. We'd probably be here all night. Anyway, you're pretty much just sitting here, waiting for the animatronics to try to kill you. You have a limited power supply, and checking the cameras, closing the doors, and using the lights consume your power. You run out of power pretty fast, especially when Foxy decides to run at the door. He steals a lot of your power away. That's not fair! If you run out of power too soon, you're pretty much fucked, only to be greeted by Freddy himself. Imagine you are sitting home alone at night with the lights off and you start playing this game for the first time. It's horrifying. Even if you know a jump scare is coming, you can't help but jump anyway. All the animatronics are pretty creepy too, especially this one where you look at him for too long and he'll just crash your game. Thankfully, I'm playing the Xbox version, so this doesn't happen. If you listen to the sound effects of this game, they're terrifying. Like the main ambience, the distorted audio, the sounds of the animatronics slowly approaching your office. I know what you're thinking. This isn't scary. But at the time, everyone who played this game for the first time was shitting bricks. Even people who watched other people play this game were scared, but they just kept wanting more. Overall, this game is fantastic. That doesn't mean there aren't some things I dislike about the game, like being required to beat 2020 mode in the newer versions. If you want to lose your sanity over to beat that, go ahead. Me, I just personally use the Xbox door glitch to cheese the game. Yeah, it's cheap, but the game will literally cheat you out of winning, so I'm not sorry. And no, you can't do this glitch anymore. It's been patched. I'm never doing it legit. Other than that, you gotta love the first game. It's always gonna be a classic. Now, let's move on to this game's sequel. This is Five Nights at Freddy's 2. In this game, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is on a higher budget. It's a bigger area and more animatronics than before. It's pretty much the same premise as the first game. The only difference is the game mechanics. You get 2 open vents and 1 big hallway with no doors. Who was the dumbass architect who thought this was a great idea? Basically, instead of the doors, you get a Freddy mask, so you can just disguise yourself as an animatronic in case one gets into your office. There are 2 exceptions to the Freddy mask though, Foxy and the puppet. The puppet is easy. All you gotta do is wind up the music box regularly, and you are pretty much safe. I mean, it's annoying and tedious, but it's a core mechanic. Foxy, on the other hand, is a completely different problem. If you thought Foxy in the first game was a dickhead, you should see him here. To keep him away, you would have to shine your flashlight at him, and he'll just decide whether to kill you or not. There's not much to complain about in this game either, but for the sake of the video, I will complain about a few things. I hate Balloon Boy. Basically, he'll try to kill you, but instead, he'll just disable your flashlight, making you helpless. He's really annoying, especially the laugh. Shut up! If you attempt the 1020 mode, good luck. Because this is definitely a lot harder than the first game. Instead of 4 animatronics on the highest difficulty, you have 10. The game will just disobey its own rules and just kill you for no reason. How many times have I died to Foxy or Toy Bonnie on 1020 is an absolute mystery. There's no door glitch either, so fuck that. I'll come back to it maybe if I feel like torturing myself. At the end of the day, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 isn't exactly a bad game either, it's just really difficult. Mostly relying more on RNG and luck to help you win, and I kinda dislike that in video games. I feel like you should win by your own personal skill without having to rely on luck. But that's just my take on it. Moving on, this is Five Nights at Freddy's 3. This is the game out of the collection I like the least. This game is a pile of shit. This time, you survive nights at Fazbear's Fright against one animatronic named Springtrap. Don't worry, there are other animatronics, but they're just phantoms, meaning they won't kill you, but instead they'll just make you vulnerable for Springtrap to kill you. How nice. When you start playing the game, Night 1 has no enemies to attack you, so you're just spending the first night doing nothing. The other nights are also pretty easy as long as you keep Springtrap under control. However, Night 5 has the biggest difficulty spike in the entire game. All the phantoms show up at random to attack you, and half of the time you have no overt control to prevent this. Your objective is to only monitor Springtrap, but other phantoms do nothing but get in your way, so it's really obnoxious. Your audio, video, and ventilation crap out every 5 seconds, so that doesn't help. You waste precious time rebooting your systems when you should use that time to monitor Springtrap. The cameras suck too. You can barely see anything in these cameras. Springtrap hides so easy in the dark, so I see more static half of the time. Doesn't this game take place 30 years in the future? Why does all this tech suck ass? The shit I hate the most is when Springtrap gets in the vents coincidentally as you get a video error. In the vents, you actually need to see Springtrap to seal the vents, so taking out my cameras while he's in the vents is bullshit. Getting the minigames for the good ending is easier said than done when you're on a controller. You're supposed to know to put in a certain amount of buttons to activate a minigame. Thank God for the internet, but the tutorials in this game barely exist on console. The jump scares aren't even that scary. They're just there. They just exist. If a phantom attacks you while Springtrap is close, you're pretty much screwed. It's over. You can't recover from that. It's really annoying because it's all luck-based whether if a phantom decides to attack you or not. I barely beat Night 5, and quite frankly, I don't have the patience to do all that shit again on Night 6. This game could piss off with that. I don't know what Scott was thinking with this one. Let's just make a Five Nights at Freddy's game, but just only have one animatronic. Probably because the previous game had too many? But don't worry, we can't just have one animatronic. That'd be too easy, right? Yeah, let's just make all the other animatronics just distract you and annoy the shit out of you, so the main guy that can kill you. Wow, that's some horse shit. You know your horror game is shit when the game pisses you off more than it scares you, right? If I wanted to play a rage game, I'd fire up Cuphead. But at least in Cuphead, that takes skill to win, unlike this dung heap. Whatever. Let's talk about a game that doesn't suck. Five Nights at Freddy's 4. This is definitely my favorite game out of the entire collection. Unlike the third game, this game actually takes skill to win. You play as a kid who keeps having nightmares of the animatronics trying to break into your room. All you have is a flashlight and closing doors on the nightmares to defend yourself. Wouldn't it be easier for this kid to just lock his doors? What makes this game so different from the others is that you really need to rely on audio in this game. If you play this game on mute, you're not going to win. You need to listen to the sounds. Everything is dark, so if you shine your lights on an animatronic that's way too close, you're dead. Every animatronic has different audio cues to know if they're close to your room. So if you die, that's pretty much your fault. My only exception to this is the Nightmare animatronic. If you thought Foxy is a dick in the previous games, Nightmare is the king of all assholes. If you try to play Nightmare mode or 420, Nightmare will cheat. He has killed me through walls more than 7 times and has made me want to break something in my room. It took me a couple hours to beat 420 because of Nightmare, but eventually it actually felt really good finally beating him. Yes! Oh, yes! Let's fucking go! Yes! Oh, yes! Other than the Nightmare, the animatronics in this game are pretty fair. Again, if you die to them, skill issue. There's also this mini game where you need to get Plush Trap on the X. You can do the same thing with Balloon Boy, but he's actually a lot tougher than Plush Trap. Visually, the animatronics look horrifying. When this game first came out, I actually had a hard time sleeping at night because of these things. There's a Halloween DLC too, but it doesn't really change the game much, except make the game more difficult. Bonnie and Chica get a jack-o'-lantern redesign, Foxy gets replaced with Mangle, and Nightmare gets replaced with the puppet. Mangle and the puppet are pretty annoying. Remember when I said this game relies on sound to win? Well, Mangle and Nightmarian make obnoxious sounds that are louder than the actual audio cues to know so you can win. On Xbox, you actually need to wait on the actual day of Halloween to get the Halloween update. I didn't think the wait was worth it. Overall, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is definitely one of my favorites. It's a good game. And last but not least, we got Five Nights at Freddy's 5, or Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. This game is so different that I don't even know how I feel about it. It's not good and it's not bad. I will definitely say though that this game is hard as shit. I had more trouble trying to play sister location than I did with Five Nights at Freddy's 3. It's that hard. The gameplay is more like a campaign, where there's voice actors who guide you throughout your shifts. The voice acting in this game is actually pretty good. No complaints there. The first night's pretty easy. All you do is zap the animatronics. Yeah, after the shit I went through in the previous games, they definitely deserve this. Night 2 isn't that bad either. Night 3 is when the game starts getting difficult. I kept dying to Funtime Foxy over and over again. I didn't know what I was doing. The game doesn't tell you anything either. I later found out you need to flashbang Foxy for him to get out of the way so you can run down the halls. Wow, that would have been really nice to know. How was I supposed to know that? I hate games that don't explain shit. It's why I hated Emily Wants to Play 2. That game just puts you with enemies and they don't tell you how to survive against them. It's horse shit. Anyway, after doing some work on Freddy and Bonnie hiding from me like a little asshole, Night 4 begins. This night on Xbox is pretty much impossible. Who was the idiot that thought it was okay to control a mouse cursor with an Xbox controller? Why can't this be automatic to tighten the spring locks? Why do I have to manually control the cursor to click on each and every spring lock? With a controller! This part sucks because they want you to tighten 8 spring locks simultaneously while the little babies crawl over you. Even on the highest mouse sensitivity, there's no way to beat it. I would try to move the cursor as fast as I humanly could, but I just wasn't fast enough. This is something that you should only do on PC. Why is this on console? I highly doubt the devs who ported this can't even beat their own ports, because there's no way. I just die, and die, and die, and die, and die, and die! Oh my god, that's enough! So in conclusion, I don't hate Five Nights at Freddy's. Actually, I've been a big fan of it for a long time. And I know that the story has been retconned so many times after Sister Location that's just really hard to follow. But I'd like to remember the old games of how they were. At least most of the good ones. But that's just my take on it. There's still many fans out there that will love Five Nights at Freddy's for the rest of time. And I'll probably be one of them. So I'm in the same boat as you. But I think that's enough Five Nights at Freddy's for now. Let's turn on a little bit of TV. Oh, it must be more trick-or-treaters. I'll go get my candy. Hey, trick-or-treat, guys. What was that? I don't know what just happened. I guess it's just some kids doing Ding Dong Ditch. No big deal. Anyway. Uh-oh. Okay, so the power went out. Coincidence. Nothing wrong here. I just gotta get to the fuse box. Damn flashlight. Never works. Okay, here we go. Damn it! And... Huh, I knew I could get it to work. This was what I was scared about. Oh, it's kind of cute. What are you supposed to be, Freddy? Give it off me! Stop eating my face! What was that? Huh, phone call.
Hello? Hello? I wanted to record a message for you to help you get settled in on your first night. The animatronics do get a bit horny at night. If they come into your house, you're gonna die. I can't save you, but, good luck and, good night.
Wow. What a dick! Okay, it's been a couple hours. I'm sure they would have went away by now. Let me listen. Oh my god, I hear him breathing outside. Wait. If you're outside breathing, I have to shut the door for you to go away, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so what if I just close the door? Oh, better yet, how about I just lock it so you just can't come in at all?
Well, shit.
Hey, why didn't I do that before? These animatronics are stupid. That's not what I think it is, right? Oh, that was a close one. You know, I'm pretty good at this game. Now that I've closed the door, that means they can't come in, right?